In this video, I'm going to talk to you about how Zone 2 training has completely changed my fitness levels and made me so much fitter, and why you should include it in your training as well. Let's go.
You can probably tell, pretty damn windy today, so whether you can hear me or not, well, I'll have to wait and see what this footage is like. I might have to redo this video. Start off this video, I should probably be talking about what my training's looking like at the minute, and being totally transparent and honest with you, it is majority super chilled at the minute. I'd probably say 90% of my training at the minute is like Zone 2, just steady state stuff. 10% will probably be a little bit of intensity creeping in, and obviously as the winter training progresses and as we get closer towards next season and in towards like a strength phase, then yes, the intensity will increase and the volume of intensity will increase. But right now, honestly, like most of my training is super chilled, and it's just getting the body moving and it's allowing me to get the volume in. I don't know if you can see this, but this is fun. Reason number one why Zone 2 training, low intensity training is so important is because it's low intensity. It means it's easy to recover from. It means you can do more of it, and if you can adapt to more training, you will get fitter. I don't know anyone that said more training is a bad thing. However, I do have to caveat that with, you do have to be able to adapt to it. So please don't go out and say, Harry's told me to train more, and then get injured or get ill, because you do have to be able to adapt to it. But if you can adapt to it, lower intensity training gives you that ability to train more, which in turn, it will just get you fitter. With low intensity training, it generally means you're less likely to get injured, you're less likely to get ill. It's a bit ironic me saying that right now because I am actually ill. I woke up this morning feeling like someone had taken a cheese grater to my throat, and I'm feeling a bit sniffly, so I should be in the pool right now, but I've opted to adapt my training based on how I'm feeling, and I've changed it, so I'm actually going out for an easy jog right now, keeping it really low intensity, just because I feel like when you're feeling like this, last place you want to be is a swimming pool, for yourself and also for others. No one wants to be in a pool with someone who's snotty and minging. So yeah, no swimming today.
So yeah, this video has not gone to plan. I recorded this initial section of me running on Wednesday morning. As you'll be able to hear, I'm very bunged up. And since Wednesday, I have had a raging cold. I mean, this is one of the worst I've had actually, which is so frustrating. And as a coach, it's very easy when my athletes end up sort of having an illness or colds or whatever. It's very easy to give them advice and say, you know, take time off, either reduce the intensity, reduce the duration, or completely have time off. Focus on sleep, focus on, you know, hydration, all of the basics. When it comes down to you, it's very difficult to take your own advice. I find that anyway, but in the pursuit of not looking like a massive hypocrite, I have literally had since Wednesday completely off. It is now Saturday now, and I am so frustrated because I was actually starting to feel really good in training. We're starting to get some really good volume in, and then suddenly, boom, I'm hit with this, and it's great. Oh, God's sake. Oh, why? Anyway, back to the topic of this video. Now, my first point really was, if you reduce your intensity and you focus on Zone 2 training, which I'm a very strong advocate for, especially this time of year, all year round really, but this time of year it should be such a big focus for people. You reduce your risk of, funnily enough, getting ill. Even though you can't completely take out the chances of getting ill, of course you can't. But it does significantly reduce your risk of getting ill during the winter, which is fantastic. Unfortunately, I've been hit with something which sucks, but if you can reduce that risk, you can become more consistent, which means week in, week out, you can keep putting in the work without having big setbacks. Because, for example, right now, I've had 3 full days or 3.5 days completely off training. That is a massive, look, it's not a huge setback, but it is a setback. If you can reduce that as much as possible, doesn't matter if you're not doing as much as you physically can within that week. If you can have weeks and weeks and weeks and months of consistent work, that compound is going to make a massive difference. And the reduce of that setback from getting ill is going to make a huge difference. So I would strongly recommend including more zone 2, more base work in your training so that you can become more consistent, reduce the risk of illness, and essentially just get so much fitter for less effort, really. The other thing as well that I find is zone 2 training, although it's very difficult to force yourself to lower that intensity, it does actually get to a point where it becomes more enjoyable because you're not completely slogging yourself all the time. It's far more sociable. So on the weekends you go off on, rides with your mates and runs with your mates. As long as you can trust them to not go too hard and not train too hard, it's a really nice way of training because you get back home or you get off the trainer or you get out of the pool, whatever it is, and you don't feel absolutely wrecked and ruined. You feel ready to, if you've got another session in the day, do another session, or you feel ready to get on with the rest of your day, whether you've got work or family commitments or whatever it is. You don't feel completely smashed, which is a horrible feeling. I mean, sometimes it's quite an enjoyable feeling, but most of the time it's not a very nice feeling. And actually, if your training can become easier for you, you're more likely to do more of it, which will in return make you fitter. So I want to finish this video actually with a bit of a challenge to prove my point and how effective zone 2 training can be, because I know a lot of people, they might listen to this and be like, meh, if you train harder, then you'll get fitter and you'll get faster, and actually there's a perfect balance somewhere, and actually I would lean more towards zone 2 training, doing more of that than actually training harder, having to do less because you've got to recover more because you're doing more damage to your body. So what I want to do, now some of you will be coached, so you may not be able to do this because you've already got a training program, but for those of you that are interested, definitely do this and let me know how you get on because I'd love to hear the results, right? So pick a local stretch of road or a local climb or something where there's not going to be much disruption with, traffic lights, traffic, junctions, everything like that. Basically, a bit of road that's not going to have disruption so that it keeps the time honest, if that makes sense. You want it to be between, let's say, 3 and 10 minutes long. So that's quite a wide variety. Personally, if I was doing this test, I'd probably pick a local climb between 3 and 5 minutes long, right? And do this as a time trial, all out effort. Go and give it a go, right? And then what I want you to do is for the next 6 weeks, let's say, is just do zone 2 training. Now this is why it's going to be a challenge, because I can guarantee if you're going to do this challenge, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to be like, oh God, I can't be, I need to be training harder. But trust me, stay with the process. 6 weeks, easy bike volume, okay? Nice and chilled, and it means that you can probably add in a little bit more volume if you're reducing the intensity a little bit, which will really help. But then what I want you to do is after that 6-week block, you could do it 4 to 6 weeks, right? Retest again and see how you get on. I promise you will be incredibly surprised with how well you get on. Now obviously there's going to be different variabilities, wind, weather, all of this different stuff, right? How you feel on the day, exactly. There are loads of things that you can't control, but for the most part, I think you'll see some really big gains there, and it will prove to you how significant zone 2 training really is. There's a lot of programs out there that kind of try and fluff things up a little bit and make things look really exciting, make things look pretty and attractive. And yes, there's a place for doing those sorts of things, but actually stripping training back to the bare basics and just going through the motions and doing the really base, easy stuff, it's not attractive, it's not pretty, but it really does get results. And so I'd be really interested to hear how you guys get on if you do this challenge. Let me know if you're interested in the challenge in the comment section below. So that's it from this video, guys. Sorry, not much action going on because, well, I'm out of action at the minute, but fingers crossed I'll be able to sort myself out and we'll get back to training promptly. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. Let me know what your training's looking like in the comment section below, but also let me know what you're thinking about racing next year in the comment section below. I'm starting to put ideas together for next year, so that'll be another video for hopefully you guys to look forward to. And please consider hitting that subscribe button, the like button, and the bell icon as well. Really, really helps out the channel, and I would appreciate the support so much. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.